That was the first time I ever legitly had a ride with the police, bro. I thought we was
Oh
gonna
yeah.
die that day, bro.
Hey, but listen, I'm gonna tell you. No, look. If you look on YouTube, they show that what's name is on video when the chair came slamming at the door when the riot squad and all that came in.
On what?
Yeah.
Boy, Mac Mean, true story or stories ain't true, but this one is, you know what I'm saying? Today we got my boy, you know what I'm saying, Pop, aka 24-hour Bang Films. You feel me? 24, I said bang them, 24-hour Bang Films. Introduce the people to yourself, Pop, let them know your name and stuff.
Yeah, man, 24-hour Bang, man. You know, boogie down, Bronx, New York.
All right, so let me ask you something, man, before we get, oh man, there's so many different questions I gotta ask you, but let me just start it from here because let's start it from where we met at, you know what I'm saying, and what landed you where you was at.
Well, yeah, you know, we met in the Beacon, man. You know, I just came in the spot. You blew up the spot, and then we had to leave the spot.
All right, okay. What was your charge and what you was in there for?
Yeah, I was in there for a body, 125.25.
For those that don't know, that's the penal code for I think murder 1 probably. You know what I'm saying? Murder 2. Anyway, do you want to talk about that? You know what I'm saying? Before I start asking you any questions, do you want to tell people why you was in jail? What was your mind state and how old you were at that time?
I was like 20. I think I was like 22, 23. And you know, that's when the Bronx and all that and Rikers Island and all that shit was out of control at that time. Crazy. So, you know, the climate was heavy, you know, what was happening at that time in the 90s. This was in the early 90s, early to mid 90s, you know.
Explain from your eyes, because everybody got their perspective on what happened during that time, you know what I'm saying? And as we know, you know what I mean, there's like 17, 18 buildings in Rikers Island, so there's a whole bunch of tales. From your perspective, how was it? Like, what was on your mind at that time? Like seeing the island at that time.
Rikers Island, it was insane, brother. It was all the way off the hook. Everything goes. Any and everything went. So if you couldn't hold your own, then that was it, man. You was food. You know what it was. So, you know, the Puerto Ricans, everybody wanted to convert to be Bloods because the Bloods was tearing shit up. I was never nothing. You know, I was neutral, but I was cool with everybody. I was cool with Puerto Rican, Spanish, because, you know, the boogie down and all that. And then, you know, a lot of people I knew was Blood. I was on the island for 883 days. So I knew
883 days? Hold on.
Yeah, I laid up 883 days fighting that body, man. Yes, sir.
Yo, okay, so let me ask you something, right? When I first met you, you was doing some modeling shit. You was fucking with like Karl Kani. You was movies and shit like that. So how did it go from what happened that led you into jail from going to do that, and expound on that a little bit, because I want people to know about that.
Okay, because I had came home and I was doing a little modeling, Kark Kani. I was in a few magazines and a couple of videos and stuff like that. I was I was trying to make my way on that level, you know. So, you know, one thing led to another. I got caught up, you know, in something in the streets, and you know, I had a body, so I was laying up on Rikers Island. You know, this was like, I'm gonna tell you, when I came through that Brooklyn's fine.
When you just came through, you just got your injuries, right?
Well, yeah, you're right. Yeah, because before when I was modeling and all that, I had got shot 7 times. And then maybe about 3 or 4 months after I got shot, I got locked up for the murder. So I still had staples in my stomach. I was going back and forth to KCH for them to take the staples out.
I remember you was healing at that time.
Yeah, I was still healing. I was healing on I healed up on Rikers Island. They took the last few staples out. As a matter of fact, they left a staple in, and it was inside of me for a while. And then I felt it and went back to KCH, and they got it out. And then I came to the Beacon after that. That's when I met you. I was only there one day, and the spot got all the way blown. They locked us up. They locked us down for 4 days straight. It was crazy. Yo, I had just came in the spot, went to commissary, couldn't even enjoy nothing. It was on a Friday too. You know,
I tell people about that story because somebody was on somebody else. I mean, they do the trolling shit, and they open up that conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
shit got crazy, man, and
we can't get convicted for no assaults back then, man.
Oh nah. They locked us down for 4 days, and then the 4th day they locked us down from like Friday to Tuesday, some crazy. And Tuesday morning they came in and they wiped the whole block out. They said, they called the first 15, boom, they sent them straight out. We don't even know where they went. Then they called the second 15, boom, sent them straight out. Then we was like the last 8.
Last 10,
it was like 8 or 10 of us. They sent out the last.
And we opened up North.
And we opened up 5 North facility. It was brand new paint. Everything was up in there. As soon as we got up in there. Yeah, so
we chose whatever bed we wanted, put 3 mattresses in that motherfucker.
In the cells, yeah. We was in 5 North in the cells, yeah. It was, and we was probably.
What year was that? Do you remember? Because I remember exactly when it was. I blew trial from that house.
That was like. I want to say that was like. Because I remember. Let me see. Yeah, it was right before it was. Yeah, it was in what was it, the summertime? I think it was the summertime.
It was like April 9th.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. It was before OJ beat the trial. Because we saw the whole trial.
Now look, he blew trial.
In October. He beat trial in October. Right.
I blew trial 20 days later.
Right. So we was there in that house since April or something like that. We was there for a minute together.
You remember some of the people that was up there?
I remember.
You know Corey High?
Corey? No, I don't remember. I know. I remember my man Van from the East Side was there. My man Van from Spanish Harlem was in there.
Torsten said.
CK from Brooklyn, Corey King, right? He was in there.
Dizzy.
Dizzy was in there.
Black Rick, that started the reason why we got into that riot.
Right. Yeah.
Captain Scott.
What was what's the name was in there too?
Yo, that was the first time. Kruger was in there. Yeah, from Brooklyn. Hey, yo, bro, that was the first time I ever legitly had a ride with the police, bro. I thought we was gonna die that day, bro.
Hey, but listen, I'm gonna tell you. No, look. If you look on YouTube, they show that what's name is on video when the chair came slamming at the door when the riot squad and all that came in.
On what?
Yeah, on YouTube. When you look up YouTube,
I seen mad footage. I never looked at that shit.
When you look at. All right. When you look at, it was like riots and all that going on up in there. They showed that little riot that went down.
That was the first legit riot I ever been in, and you know what?
Yeah.
That shit started. Actually, Captain Scott is the reason why all that shit started because he could have chilled, and that was an example of bad policing that day. You Like sometimes, okay, like Rick was a dude that just blew trial, right? He wasn't in the right state of mind. He just got 25 to life, right? And the captain wanted him to take his paper off the lights. He didn't want to take it off, so it got crazy. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, we was trying to break it up, and Captain Scott starts swinging the fucking.
He pulled out that hook knife, and started swinging that. Yeah, and then everybody jumped him, ran him out.
Ran him out there.
The squad came in. They got
didn't
ran
do nothing
out.
to the female. The female.
No, didn't do nothing to the female.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody did nothing. No, she was perfectly safe. The first squad that came in, it was like 10 of them. They got ran right. They waited like 20 minutes. They waited like 25 minutes. And then like 5 or 7 turtles came. And they came and
shut that shit down.
They
gave us a chance to run.
Gave everybody a chance.
Bro, I was picking the walkie-talkie up. Listen, I had to.
No. That's what they said. No, that's what they said. They came in there and said, "Listen, we just want the walkie-talkie." That was number one because you took the walkie-talkie. They said, "We want the walkie-talkie."
I try to run up that.
They said, They said, "We want the walkie-talkie." They said, "Just put it down. We're gonna leave and come back." You put it down, boom.
I slammed it. Yeah. Hard. Boom.
Yeah. And then they came in there. They came in and they said, all right, everybody.
I'm the last candidate for a riot, right? But I'm gonna tell you something. That was I knew whatever, we was all on camera. They seen it. Everybody had to get down. But when they came for that walkie, remember, mad people already locked in. I was upstairs. I had to climb up the bars to get to my shit. Because as soon as I slammed that shit, they opened that motherfucking gate up. It was the Sheikh that saved me, and he was the first nigga they took up out there. They beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Gas was fucking all of us up. That shit was all on niggas' clothes for days.
But he got up out of there, man, and yeah, man, those was the times, man. That shit was crazy, man. They was laying up fighting. But that wasn't the, I was
all fought them niggas together, B.
I was in different spots. So, laying up that long, you're not gonna be in one spot. I only spot I never went to was the Sprungs. I went to every other spot.
Yeah, I never been to those Sprungs neither. I heard about them though.
Yeah, I never went there. That was
like for low classification though. You had to have a certain classification.
Yeah. Well,
and all that murders, it wasn't like none of that shit. So let me ask you this, right? Let me skip off of the drama for a second. Because the one thing that did interest me, like when we first met, because I obviously know who you are from the hood. You feel me?
Right.
From my family know you personally. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Once we figured that out, we was just locked in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And then you hear the stories. Okay, you always struck me as one of those niggas that always had opportunity, but still had a certain amount of street in you because you had a certain reputation on the street, right?
Right.
But you was always like getting opportunities. How did you get into the modeling game? That's what interested me back in the days.
I got into that through my sister because both of my sisters was in the music business.
Okay.
So they knew they was always getting me, and they always was doing all type of stuff for me from years ago, like, point me in certain directions. So I was always there, at little go-sees or any type of auditions or stuff like that. So I got to meet Kark Kani in Vegas, and we was going around. I ran around with him for half a second, and was modeling. That's when Kark Kani was on fire at that time. So, that's how I got hooked up with him. And then from there, I had met a couple of other people, did some magazines, did a few little magazines and stuff like that. And, was just working it like that at that time. So this was like when I had just came home off the first bid. This was like in 92.
How much time did you do and how much time did you do on your first bid? Like what was your first bid?
The first one was it was a 3 to 6. I did a 3 to 6 and then came home. I came home and I I was home like, I want to say it was like 93, 94 when I came home. I had the dates mixed up. Yeah, 93, 94, because Nas had just came out. Nas and Wu-Tang had just came out.
Ain't that ironic that you remember like key times based off of music?
Yeah, because I remember the energy and the vibes and everything at that time. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that it was, and I was living downtown. I was on Broadway, 157th Street in Broadway. So I was staying down there, and I just remember, Ain't Hard to Tell and all that had just came out. It was cold. That's when I had came home, and then that's when my sisters, they was already deep in the music business. So I had met KARL Kani. I had met quite a few people, and did a couple of, did a couple of runs with the modeling.
All right, lean back a little bit more so we can see your whole head. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna edit that part out, but this is dope. This is a dope ass interview so far. My man just probably went down the stairs to open up the door for my other homeboy. I'm supposed to be at these niggas' show right now. All right, check this out. All right, Pop. Okay, let me take it from here. So let me ask you this, Pop. Okay, so you modeling, you from the hood, you seeing a certain amount of things going on, without telling us too much. Like, how do you go from doing the modeling thing, which I'm pretty sure was like a dope ass world being, some shit you probably never seen before, and until meeting Mac Mean in the fucking Beacon?
Well, it was all a part of the Odyssey, man. You know what I'm saying? It was one big Odyssey. It was, I was just coming home. Everything was happening real fast. You know what I'm saying? And, I was doing the modeling, and then I got shot. You know what I'm saying? So once I got shot, that was just like, it like diverted my attention. I wasn't focused on the, on the modeling no more. I was now my whole focus turned right to the streets. You know what I'm saying? So, the area, the whole area that we was in, you know what I'm saying? Bronx River, Soundview, Castle Hill, Parkchester, you know what I'm saying? All of that whole area, Bronx River, so Lambert, all that whole area, you know what I'm saying? So that was the area that I was running around in at that time, but, you know what I'm saying? So my attention just flipped all the way around to the streets after that, at that point.
So hold up. So now you coming from jail from doing the first bid,
right?
And you bump into this opportunity, right? You home for a certain amount of time,
right?
Which wasn't a long time.
No,
and now wasn't. You back in jail
with staples in my.
What's your days like? Like what's going on in your mind? Like what the fuck is going on day to day for you?
See, anybody that's laying up fighting a case like that, they're gonna pretty much know how they got caught, how serious the situation is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if they really got them good, if they really got some strong evidence against you, you're gonna know all that if you staying on top of your own case. You know what I'm saying? So of course I was around a lot of people. I was around at that time. Another person that I definitely would like to mention at that time that lift my spirits up and made me stay on top of my case and stay in that law library, which was another thing, was Derek Hamilton, Bush from Brooklyn.
Bush.
So, he was on that, on the law library thing serious, and he always stayed in the law library. So I know, like, when I had brushed shoulders with him, when I had met him through my travels, I had picked up that, that energy, and that made me want to stay in the law library and stay focused on my case. So my day to day was really just reading. My family helped me get through it a lot.
You was serious as fuck. We was running around wetting each other up and shit.
Yeah.
Having water sports.
Yeah, it wasn't funny to me because I knew that I was facing a lot of time. You know what I'm saying?
You didn't carry it like that. You ain't carry like that though.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I worked in a barber shop. You know that. You know what I'm saying? And my family came through. I had a lady for maybe about 7-8 months. She hung out for about 7 to 8 months. So you know what I mean? I mean, like, I was bidden, and I would have to give credit for sure to my family. because they stuck with me through that whole time. You know what I'm saying? And they lifted up my spirits and everything, and just reminded me of a lot of different things that, you know, that I had forgot about while I was in there. You dig? So
I want you to speak from that perspective. How did you stay out of trouble?
it was easy, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? The way I saw it, like, you know, I just I didn't put myself in no situation to where I was gonna get disrespected or rejected or anything. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't have to come into a house and grab the phone and put it in my back pocket. And to me, I mean that
one time.
yeah, no, I mean, to those, listen, I know a lot of dudes that did it. I mean, I thought it was hilarious at certain times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't something that I would have ever done, because my approach to certain things is different. Everybody don't approach everything the same way. So I figured that I could get the same results. What's the whole point? The whole point is to get on the phone, right? Okay, so if I'm gonna get on the phone, I mean, you know, it's for results. It's to make sure my family's all right, to call my lawyer, to what. I wasn't standing on the phone. I wasn't on the phone with my hands in my pants, sipping on some Kool-Aid, talking to some female on the phone. It was serious to me while I was there. So I was taking everything.
Tell them about when we got the phone to click.
Oh, you talking about click that when we was, yeah, because they had switched it around with the bands and all that with the and then you had got the you had watched the police use his code to the CO phone, and every time he would go in the bubble, we would be on the straight out phone, for a minute, and somebody would watch out, and then somebody would get on, and you know. But I mean, again, that was just for, you know.
The cop knew. I think the cop knew. He was up in there gambling with us. I think, you ever seen a group of Spanish niggas jump on the black dude, and have you ever seen a group of black dudes jump on Spanish dude?
That happened the whole 883 days. I seen it happen nonstop. I was in houses where everybody was Spanish, and they was running all the bloods out. I was in spots where everybody was blood, and they was running Spanish out. I didn't came on the gate sometimes, and they thought I was Spanish. You understand what I'm saying? But I wasn't going to no extremes or lengths to try to let people know who I was or what I was or anything like that. I was there long enough, because every house I went into, somebody would know me. And somebody would say, oh, yeah, that's so-and-so. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really have to explain. And not to say I was coming in there on none. I was regular, brother. I was fighting my case. So I didn't have no problems getting on the phone. I didn't have no beef with nobody. You
don't hear that part. You don't hear that part. You hear, the only thing you hear is that you had a while out, and it wasn't like that. You had to cut.
Nah, you didn't always have to do that, brother. I mean, I know a lot of people that didn't do that. Like, that wasn't. I hear those stories, and I hear, you know, I watch little stuff, and you know, I hear people saying, you know, how they did this and how they did that, and you know, and I know because I seen it, or some of these people that's talking about it, I might have been around and witnessed it, and I know that they telling the truth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like you, I didn't see, you know, before I even, you know, weeks. I'm talking about months ago when I first saw, you know, you was doing your thing. I said, oh yeah, I was a mess
when you met me. I was real young.
I listened to a couple of shows, but I already knew that what everything you was saying was authentic. I knew, you know what I'm saying? Because I was there. I was around you. We was together for almost a year, just about almost a year. For a while. And you know what I'm saying?
I remember my set, like that cell in 5 North, because we got comfortable up there. We was, you know what I mean? Like, I remember exactly what I could see from that cell. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember we used to have our little headphones. We used to put the cones on and shit in there. You know what I'm saying? Because the walls in the north in that annex, it was like pure cement.
Yeah. So I met a lot of different people in there that was serious. I met a lot of people in there that, you know, that you know was facing the type of time that I was facing, and you know, I was seeing how they had got through their situations. You know what I mean? Fair and square, like a man. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to do nothing crazy. you know what I'm saying, no hanky panky to get out of there. They went to trial straight up, and you know what I'm saying, got found not guilty. So that's that was it. You know what I mean? And my whole thing was, though, at that time is that I was always writing and stuff while I was in there. So that's what kept me going too. I always was reading. I always had all type of material that I was keeping myself abreast. And I was writing some of the stuff that I'm doing now. Like I'm doing voiceover work right now, and I'm doing movies and stuff like that. I got a movie that's getting ready to be in the Tribeca Film Festival.
For the intro, tell me about that.
The intro, that's like a public service announcement for the streets, the La Calle, you know, how the streets, huh?
What does the calle mean?
The streets in Spanish. So that's just what I called it, the La Calle, you know. Right. So yeah, that's what came to my mind when I was doing it. So I did this voiceover, and it was just about, you know, it was about how something will go down in the street when it comes to snitching, and how fast the streets find out about stuff, and, you know, a lawyer's point of view and the streets' point of view, and, you know, the cops, you know what I'm saying? So it was just
I'll be doing like 5-minute joints every fucking other day, bro. Like just like that. And I'll just dance it.
Yeah. I got, you know, that's some of the stuff that I just, you know, that I was doing. I did that a while back. So I just recently just put it out.